Do you guys like my shirt? It's adorable. It has little ghosties reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame and soon to be Onyx Storm. What is more perfect for spooky season, October season than this? I don't know. I'll try to link it down below. I got it off TikTok shop, so I don't really know how to link it, but I'll figure it out for you guys. Also, my voice is a little bit raw because last night we went to a Falcons game and I was yelling, screaming, so it's a little bit raw today, but we did win. Luckily, it went into overtime. Stressful event. Anyways, you probably don't care about that. You probably care. The reason you clicked on this video most likely is because you want to see what's on my... Oh. We have a new friend. He's just going to sit here for the remainder of the video, most likely. Okay, anyways, you probably clicked on this video to see my October TBR. I'm not doing a TBR jar like I normally do. I'm just going to show you all the books I already have on my TBR because I have a bunch that I specifically want to read in October. Like we have spooky books, we have cozy fall books, we have fall romance, we have other books that I want to read in October. So I'm just going to show you them instead of like picking them out because I've already picked them all. So first I have two books that were on my September TBR that I didn't get to. Come to think of it, I didn't really get to any of the books on my September TBR. I always do it. I always do this where I do the TBR jar and then don't read them. This month, we'll see. Disclaimer, I do have a lot of books on my October TBR. If you saw my fall TBR video, that will give you an idea because I'm very ambitious in the fall. So, like I was saying, we have two from my September TBR that I didn't get to. The first one is One Dark Window. This one is gonna be a little bit spooky fantasy from what I can tell, and this seems perfect for October. I've heard so many good things. I talked about it a lot already in my fall TBR and my September TBR video, so I'm gonna keep this brief because I have a lot of books to go through. It just seems like a good fantasy for this time of year, so we're gonna add this one. Next, I am embarrassed because I was so confident I was going to read this last month. I was like, no questions asked, I'm reading Harry Potter. And then I just didn't. I got busy, I got sick, and it was just not fun. Although I have no excuses now. It's October, I need to start Harry Potter so that way I can go into the December month or January. I don't know. I just need to start it, and I am starting it this month for sure. I have a day when I'm starting it, and then I'm going to finish it and watch the movie. And it's going to be a great time. So, Harry Potter, the first one. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Kind of a tongue twister. Oh, jeez. Next, this one's kind of random, but I am currently, I'm like 5% into this book, so it's going to go on my, actually, I'm not even 5%, I'm like literally 5 pages in. So barely into it. I started this last night. So it's going to go on the October TBR because I'm going to finish it in October and like read it. I'm kind of taking a pause from it right now to read some fall books and then I'll probably come back to it. But I did start Caraval and finish Caraval and the second book, Legendary, and I read Legendary. So now I'm on the third one, Finale, and so far so good. I really like the series. You'll hear more about it in my wrap up, but I do want to read the third one soon-ish. So what's going on here? Okay, next we just have some random fall books that give me fall vibes. So we have Emily Wilde's Map of Otherlands. I got this on my birthday shopping trip and it just seems like the perfect fall cozy vibe. If I feel like having this vibe, it's here. I am adding a bunch to my TBR, that way if I don't know my mood, I have options. So we'll get to some of these books for sure because I have so many on here. I don't really know what this one's about. I guess it's just more about like Emily and her discoveries and maybe her relationships. I don't know. I just remembered something. So actually I do kind of know what this book is about. So I'm excited to read this, perhaps this month. Another little cozy fantasy that I might read this month is Bookshops and Bone Dust. This one I got in a blind, what are they called? Blind date with a book from Barnes, and I was like, I need to save this for the fall because it just seems like super perfect and cozy for the fall time. I think it's just like a little cozy fantasy and like a little bit of romance. And it's like there's books involved. Like that's so cute. High fantasy, first loves, and secondhand books. A spellbinding read that somehow manages to be both gripping and restful. Wait, did this one come out before Legends and Lattes? I think so. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. 2022. 2023. Wait. This book did come out before this one. I thought it was the other way around. I thought you were supposed to read this one first. Well, maybe it doesn't matter. A new adventure set in the world of the New York Times bestselling Legends and Lattes. So it's probably like interconnected, but not like a series. Now I'm confused. So someone please let me know if you know. I'll probably just read one of these this month. Most likely not both of them. I feel like I need to read it in publication order. So for now, I'm going to put this one on the TBR. If it doesn't matter, I don't know what I'll do. But Legends and Lattes, I actually don't know what it's about. High fantasy and low stakes. That's good, because that's like cozy. Uniquely beautiful and wonderfully wholesome. Like, that just sounds so cute. Like, a nice little warm hug is like what I'm getting from these books, like those vibes. Look at the croissants, the baked goods on here. Like, it's just giving cozy. And that's what I want to be. I want to be cozy. So we'll put this one on. Again, I might switch it. I don't know. This whole time I thought that one came out first, so don't know where I got that impression. Maybe just because I got that one first. I don't know. Moving on. Another book that could be perfect for this time of year is Ink Blood Sister Scribe. I got this one in London. My boyfriend was like, this looks like, this concept sounds cool, and like I was like, yeah, it does. So I got it. It's like spooky and it involves books. This woman lives alone and she protects a collection of rare books, but these aren't ordinary books. They are books of ancient magic containing spells written in blood. So a little spooky. And then basically you're following these two sisters that try to outrun the deadly magic that killed their mother. Now camped out on an isolated research base in Antarctica, Esther has finally found a sense of happiness and belonging, but when she finds blood on a mirror, she knows she's being watched and hunted. But by who? All she knows is that she, Joanna, and the books they protect are in terrible danger. So it's like a mystery as well, kind of spooky, and like a sister bond element to it. Sounds right up my alley, so it's going on here. Okay, then for the last, like, just for the vibes we got going on, is The Apprentice to the Villain, which is the second book after Assistant to the Villain, which I loved. I like devoured that book. I loved it. I was so surprised I loved it because back when I read it, it wasn't usually a genre or type of book I would enjoy, but now my taste has evolved and grown, and I like a lot of different kind of books now, so I'm really glad I tried that book. It literally was like The Office humor, which I love, and rom-com meets fairy tale, but also like a little bit of mystery, and it was so good and entertaining. I loved it. So I'm really excited to read the sequel, Apprentice to the Villain, especially with the way the first book left off, and I'm just excited to get back in this world with these characters. I love the characters, and the humor in this book like literally makes me laugh. It might just be my humor. It's perfect for me, so I don't know if everyone will laugh at it or enjoy it, but if you like The Office, you like that sort of sarcastic humor, you'll probably like this. I think it's a sequel. I think it's a duology. It could end up being a trilogy. I don't know. Interesting. Little thought to ponder. I would love to know that before I start this book because that gives me normal expectations. Like if I know if it's a duology, I'll be like, okay, this is the ending. If it's a trilogy, we could leave on a cliffhanger, you know? So that I will look up later. Okay, so that's all that's gonna fit on this cart. Also, by the way, if you see these are just like random books that like I kind of want to read in the fall time, would love to get to in the fall time, but aren't on my immediate TBR. Over here, I have the rest of my TBR. These are more like specific, you'll see. These first three are just like spooky books that I want to read in the fall. I actually have a fun video planned that involves these books, so get excited for that. So first we have Masters of Death by Olive Blake, who wrote the Atlas Six, which I rave about all the time and talk about how much I loved it. So I'm excited to read another one of her books. I haven't read anything since those books, and this one seems, first of all, look at the cover. It's like perfect for this time of year, and death is in the title, and this is what it's about. There is a game that the immortals play. There's only one rule: don't lose. Viola Merrick is a struggling estate agent and a vampire, but her biggest issue is that the house she's selling is haunted. The ghost occupying this mansion has been murdered, and he refuses to move on until he solves the mystery behind his death. That is so perfect for this time of year. I know I say that for every book in this video, but it's true. That's why it's on my TBR. But this one, I'm like, I don't know if it's really going to be spooky, scary, or just a little bit paranormal, little spooky vibe. Like either way, I think it's going to be a good vibe for closer to Halloween, but I don't know if it's actually going to like scare me, which is probably good because I'm a wimp and I will have nightmares over spooky books. So I don't think this is going to be like too scary, but you never know. I get scared easily. But this just seems like I'll be so interested in the story that like I won't really care about the spooky part. If it's just scary, like, and I don't care about the storyline, I'm not gonna read it and I'll just be scared. With the storyline that I care about and like a mystery that I want to find out, it keeps me reading and like I don't think about how scary it is, even though it's super scary. Then we have None Shall Sleep, which is more of a thriller, but again, it's like spooky because it's about like a serial killer. It's also, yeah, like a mystery thriller vibe. This seems like it would be like a slasher movie, which is perfect for this time of year. I need to come up with a different sentence because I'm annoying myself. But my sister actually read this book and she loves it and she told me to read it, so she lent me her copy of it. And I'm just excited to read another thriller. I love thrillers, I love mysteries, and I recently watched Mindhunter on Netflix, I believe, and it was about like serial killers and these people from, what's that place called? The FBI. They're from like the behavioral science division of the FBI, and they're kind of like the first people in the show to like kind of start looking into serial killers and interviewing them to profile them and like learn their psychology in order to like profile new serial killers and try to like catch them before, like basically try to catch them like based off of their profile, like narrow down the suspects. So it was a really interesting show, and that is also a perfect show if you're looking for kind of a spooky show for this time of month. It is sad and it is dark, but that's kind of what you expect when you kind of learn what the show's about. And so I think this would be a really good book to read this time of year and just kind of continue down that path. I guess we'll see if this scares me into never sleeping again. But I think it'll be fine. Like, I don't think it's going to be too scary. And then the last one for like our spooky books is going to be Bunny. I am scared for this and I don't know what it's about. But I think I've heard like you should go into this like more blind, and then I've heard a little bit of from people's reviews that like when you finish this book you're kind of like, what did I just read? And then you have to like rethink things, which I sometimes like. I like to be sometimes left absolutely shook from a book, like reeling and thinking about it for days. Like The Silent Patient did that for me. I still think about it even to this day. I don't think that like this will be the exact same feeling as that. I think I'll be more like more confused. I like to feel like that too. And this is more of like horror than the other two. The other two are like, this one's kind of like a thriller, and this one's more like mystery, darker, paranormal, but this is like horror from what I believe. We're gonna give it a try. Worst case, I can stop reading it because this is also my sister's, so if I don't finish it, I won't feel too bad. Our last little set of books are gonna be more cozy fall books because after reading some of these books, I'm gonna need a cozy, cute little fall book. Even though we have some up here, these are specifically just cozy fall books. So we have the Spell Shop, which is a cozy fantasy, and it says it takes a village to open a heart and just one man to steal it. So it's kind of also a romance, which I love, of course, and a lot of people just rave about this book. This one review says reading this book was like sitting in the sun watching bees in foxgloves, a warm, peaceful delight of a novel. The Spell Shop is brimming with cozy charm, endearing characters, and reminders that sometimes the biggest risks lead to the sweetest rewards. A lush cottagecore tale full of stolen spellbooks, unexpected friendships, sweet jams, and even sweeter love. And look at this cover. It's so fall and cozy, and these little purple edges, I love it. And it's just perfect, so I'm excited to read this. For this next one, you're going to look at this cover and be like, actually for all of these, you're going to look at these covers and be like, when I say cozy fall books, like, yeah, this is what you envision. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I mean, it's perfect. The cover, I love it. And this is actually going kind of viral on TikTok, and I haven't even heard of that many people actually reading the book, but everyone's like trying to find the book and read the book this fall, so I'm hoping to read this soon. It's just like a cozy romance, and I'm excited. A little small town, Pumpkin Spice Cafe, exactly probably like a Hallmark movie. And then lastly for my October TBR, I have You Again, which, yeah, the cover is literally fall. It's a fall rom-com of a cover if I had to describe it, and I am excited. Allie Hazelwood has a blurb. She says it's fresh, witty, and utterly romantic. I don't really have just a romance book on this TBR, I don't believe. It's all like fantasy. Oh, literally the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is a romance, but this is also a romance, just like probably more rom-com vibes, where that one is more like Hallmark romance, you know what I mean? Also, this one's an enemies to lovers, which I love. A masterclass in banter, a rom-com classic in the making, a romance sung in perfect pitch. So that's all I'm gonna read because I like to go in blind, but I am very excited to read this. Those are all the books on my October TBR. I know it's a lot, but I'll be bouncing back and forth. I won't probably get to all of them. Whatever I don't get will most likely fall into November in that TBR, because I just never know if I'm going to be more in the mood for a fantasy, if I want to read all the romance. I don't know. You never know with me, but I will be reading some of these, and I hope you got some fall October-y recommendations, and let me know if you've read any of these and enjoyed them. And thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you very, very soon in my next video.